Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello, everybody, and good Monday to you, and welcome into the Auburn Blitz, brought to you by Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Central Alabama Community College. Got the wrong graphic up on the screen there, Jane, so we'll have to get that gone. So anyway, appreciate everybody being part of the program, and again, appreciate our great sponsors there. Got it right now.
There it is.
There it is. I mean, here we go, Monday morning.
Well, we got to have a cheat sheet every once in a while.
Well, I don't need a cheat sheet to look down and see that. But 256-234-6221 to be part of the program here on the Auburn Blitz here on this Monday. We'll talk some basketball, obviously, as the Final Four is set. We'll talk baseball, football, softball, the whole gamut. Kind of catch everybody up on what's going on here in the world of Auburn athletics here on this Monday. David, good to see you back.
Good to be back.
Back on another trip.
Had to go see the grandbabies.
Did you have a good Easter?
I did. We had a great trip down there. My 9th grade grandson had a doubleheader in Orange Beach on Thursday, supposedly, and with those spring break tournaments down there and the shortage of umpires, they canceled their game.
Wow.
So, yeah, I got to see my 6-year-old grandson play over in Mobile and got to visit the family.
Umpire shortage is a real thing.
Hey, well, you know, when you got that many, I mean, Brett, those spring break tournaments down there that Gulf Shores hosts, they use Robertsdale's field, they use Foley, they use Orange Beach, they use Bay Minette. It's unbelievable. Teams from Jenks, Oklahoma. I mean, teams from all over the country coming down there to enjoy spring break, play baseball. But I mean, it's a great thing for them.
Right.
Too. It was just unfortunate with you know, you got daytime games and umpires are still working jobs. I mean, it's a real thing during the spring break. So, but yeah, good to be back. Great Easter Sunday yesterday, and a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, there's a ton to talk about. You know, on the baseball side for Auburn, keeps getting rougher. I can't keep getting rough. It's already rough. It's getting rougher. Lost another one-run game on Saturday, 10-9 in 12 innings. They battled back. This was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. Fall 12-8 there on Friday, and then back on Thursday. They fell 9-7. All close games, man. I mean, every single one of these are close games. Just cannot find a way to get over the hump, and you know, it's pitching. I mean, we're scoring runs, obviously. You scored enough runs in all 3 of those games to win them.
That's correct.
And just pitching right now, David, is atrocious. I mean, I don't know of any other way to spin it. And, look, Jason Caldwell was on this show on Friday, and like he is every Friday. And he was talking about the discrepancy in what we have to work with here in the state of Alabama, including Alabama, us, all the in-state schools versus the other schools that we compete against. And this isn't just a problem that's arisen. That kind of shows you what a great job Butch Thompson has done with our program, you know, with a short deck of cards, being able to get Auburn to the College World Series a couple of times in the last 4 years, being able to host regionals one year after another, be very competitive with some of the top programs in the country, elevating Auburn to one of the top programs in the country, and you know, having to fight the financial, I guess, unevenness.
Yeah, discrepancy.
Well, you look at LSU, and I know LSU's record sucks right now and all that, but across the board, using NIL to pay people rather than use NIL to get them to where they don't have to pay. You know, again, things haven't changed. Auburn's been up and Alabama's been up against a short stick here, you know, as far as scholarships and having to use their scholarships as wisely as possible to kind of spread them out in Mississippi and Louisiana and Tennessee and Georgia and Florida and everybody that surrounds us, Texas, they all have supplemental ways to pay the players. And so, look, it's easy to cast stones, and look, Auburn's got to figure out a way to win. I'm not using this as an excuse, but there are some inherent disadvantages for both of our schools here in the state.
Well, you start with 11.7 scholarships for baseball, which is insane to begin with.
That's another great NCAA rule.
And I get the Title IX thing. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. Okay,
right.
But baseball, 11.7 scholarships. I mean,
you can't even put a pitching staff together for that.
No, give me a break. They've got 20 pitchers on staff. So, and you're exactly right. It is something that we're having to deal with. We're upgrading our facilities. It's kind of like basketball right now. Everybody's disappointed. Well, we got to look like where we were 10 years ago, and baseball-wise, we got to look where we were before.
Look, we're just having a down year. Got off to a good start and got into SEC play, knew the schedule was top-heavy, knew it was very brutal, thought Auburn would at least win 3 games out of this bunch. I mean, that would just be winning one game out of each series.
Yeah.
If you do that, I mean, you're looking at a whole different deal. You're 3-6 versus 1-8.
We needed one at Vanderbilt and one at A&M.
And we had a chance to get one at both places.
Yeah.
Hey, had a chance to win 2, if not sweep Arkansas at home. I mean, I don't know how many total 1-run or 2-run games we've lost now to start this season, but I think it's 5 or 6 of the 8 losses are 1 or 2 runs.
Yeah. And Brett, what's happened, and I know that we've got Butch Thompson, Teaford, and we got Scott Foxhall on staff now, who's with Mississippi State during that run. All pitching guys. I know that it's driving them nuts, but your walks are turning into runs, and that's the bottom line at A&M. Our walks turned into runs for them.
Right, and it did that. I can't remember which may have been the Arkansas series, one of the games that we lost. We had several. You remember last year, we had a problem with that early in the year.
Yeah.
And it got better.
Yeah.
And we finished the season 12-3 in the SEC, and really we're playing good. Look, it's red alert time at 1-8. You got to start winning some games. You got Tennessee coming in.
Series.
And look, Tennessee's 4-5 in conference play. This is a meat grinder. So, this is a good Tennessee program. They're not a world beater Tennessee program by any stretch. I think Alabama took. I don't know. Did Tennessee beat them 2 out of 3, or did Alabama?
I think.
Okay. Well, either way, it was a close series with them in Alabama early on, and but Auburn's got to protect home field, and that's. Look, we talk about that in every sport.
Yeah.
Football, basketball, baseball, softball, you got to win your series at home, and you got to be able to go on the road and be competitive and at least try to steal one. The worst thing you can get is a sweep, and that's what we got this past weekend, and was what we got at Vanderbilt. So our first 2 road series, we weren't able to find a way to scratch out a run. I mean, to scratch out a win. Softball, I haven't talked to you since the Mickey Dean news hit. So just kind of your thoughts. You were gone last week. Mickey Dean stepping down at the end of the season. It kind of felt like he was going to step down right now. The original message that was sent out by Auburn, it made it feel like he was stepping down immediately, but they came back and retracted, said he would be doing it at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Just your thoughts on that.
Well, I don't keep up with softball as much as I probably should since I'm on the show here. I just know that there's been a lot of disgruntled former players that have come out.
Right.
And we obviously have had some great pitchers, but we just hadn't been able to hit the softball.
Yep.
And that's not just this year. That's been an ongoing problem.
Right.
And I just think Auburn, you can read between the lines whatever you want to read on this retirement deal. Okay?
Right.
But they just want to go in a different direction.
Yeah, you're right. Sure. You're right. But that's – again, 7 years and some pretty good years, but early exits in the postseason kind of wipes that away. And again, like you said, losing players at the end of the year, we know we have, the transfer portal and everything you got to deal with nowadays. And everybody's going to have to deal with players leaving and all. But at the end of the day, when you lose 2 or 3 of your best players at the end of the year, as soon as the season starts, it stops. You got to figure something out there. So got a lot of comments coming in. I love our resident Bammers that tune in. And, John wants us to talk about the Final Four, and we're going to talk about the Final Four, but John, we're an Auburn program, so we're covering Auburn stuff right now. We will get to the Final Four, I promise. It was it's going to be fun to see what happens. The NCAA tournament coming to a close. We'll have the Final Four next week. But our Bama isn't our number one priority here. So congratulations on making the Final Four, but we're going to cover the things that we got to cover with Auburn first. I think that's the name of the show, isn't it?
Yeah,
Auburn Blitz. Yeah. Auburn Blitz. Yeah. Tune in on Sports Blitz on Tuesday night. We talk about everything.
You can lead with that on Tuesday night.
We can. We talk about it on Saturday. Love to hear from you on Saturday mornings. We're up bright and early, ready to roll at 7 o'clock, talk about anything and everything everybody wants to talk about. But on this show from 12 to 1, we're going to focus on Auburn. I mean, that's really kind of how it works. Yeah. But spring football practice, got the A-Day game coming up on Saturday. So,
I completely forgot about that with all the other stuff going on.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna talk about some of the guys that kind of have stood out in spring practice and some of the notes leading in. It's kind of been a behind-the-scenes deal. We had Jason on Friday. He talked a little bit about it. But we'll talk about some of the superlatives, some of the guys to watch. Some of the younger guys that are making, waves, obviously Cam Coleman, but Joe Phillips is getting a lot of looks. Had his high school coach on with us a few weeks ago on the Lake Martin Sports Roundup, Coach O'Neill, who's now at Tallahassee. And he talked about Joe and just what a great kid and just what a great talent he's going to be and what a big impact he had on that Booker T. Washington team.
Absolutely.
To get them to where they furthest run semifinal. Past the first round was the longest run. Mm-hmm. They went all the way to the semifinals, so had a chance to be in that state title game. Up against our first break of the show. Everybody stay tuned. More to come right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Let's get serious. Let's get Arctic Air serious. You want your car and truck to live longer, don't you? Well, it's about maintenance. Same thing with Arctic Air. You see the number at the bottom of the screen? Call them right now. Let me tell you something. You want to be comfortable? We all want to be comfortable.
GlennSmith.com, the great shopping experience you'll get at our dealership. Online, GlennSmith.com. Brand new Chevrolets, brand new GMCs. GlennSmith.com. Compare pre-owned models side by side. GlennSmith.com. Get your best price every day and see everything we offer at your convenience 24/7. Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika, Alabama. Get ready to smile at GlennSmith.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here on this Monday. Hope everybody's having a great day. Brought to you by Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, Central Alabama Community College. You can call us at 256-234-6221. Games yesterday, the last 2 teams punching their ticket to the Final Four were Purdue and NC State. And, David, I'll get your thoughts on this. And then I've got some interesting stats on Auburn's 2019 Final Four team and this year's team. Obviously, we thought for a while that, and sometimes it appears you just don't really, until you look at numbers, you go, man, sometimes it jumps off the page at you. But would you thought we were a really good 3-point shooting team this year?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, the numbers don't say otherwise, which is weird. So we'll dive into that here in just a minute. Kind of shocked me, something that Philip Marshall pushed out. It blew me away. If that would have been a trivia question, I'd have missed it.
Yeah.
So
I obviously just missed it.
Yeah, you did. You missed it. You're going to be shocked like I am. I think a lot of Auburn people will. But Purdue winning. Zach Edey just destroyed. Ended up with 40 points. Just had another tremendous game. He set a Purdue record.
Mm-hmm.
Dalton Connect had 37 though, and Dalton Connect had 37 of Tennessee's 66 points. Of course, Zach Edey had 40 of Purdue's 72, so it was a battle of those two guys. But that's been Tennessee really all year, and especially the latter part of the year. If Dalton Connect wasn't hitting shots, it was slim pickings for Tennessee. Now, they won a lot of games with defense, but for the most part, they were trying to get him the ball late coming off screens. It was like nobody else could shoot the basketball. Hey, get it to every possession. And then, of course, Purdue was trying to double him and trying to shut him down, and still was able to make some tough shots. But he was 14 of 31 shooting, which isn't terrible. But he's really the team for Tennessee. And he kind of ran out of gas. Purdue following up that early exit last year to Fairleigh Dickinson. Now making the Final Four. First time since 1980 for them. Yeah. So,
well, here's my deal. And contrary to what some of our Alabama watchers would believe, I got on Facebook and congratulated my Alabama fan friends.
You have some Alabama fans?
I do. Well, friends. And I have a cousin that let us sit with her at the SEC championship.
Right. And she's a big Alabama fan.
Here's what I told my Alabama fan friends, because I've been to 3 Final Fours, 2 as a high school coach. Just going, Brett. I was in the Louisiana Superdome when Chris Webber called the timeout that wasn't.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was watching that game live. I've been to Charlotte to a Final Four, and, of course, I went when Auburn. I told my Alabama friends, I said, look, take out a loan, sell a kidney, whatever you got to do
post on that,
to get there, because it is I know Luke's going.
Yeah, and he already had planned to go anyway, which is really neat for him. His son lives out there.
That's right, his son's
and
out
so
there.
I think he wasn't able to take a trip with them earlier, so Luke had gotten tickets and said, "Look, well, me and you'll go. Whoever's in,
and
opportunity."
In there.
Yeah.
What a coup.
Boy, you talking about working out?
Absolutely,
that's pretty cool.
But the Final Four is an incredible sporting event. I think, you got 2 1s and 2 4s. I think the road that
there's an 11 seed. NC State's an 11 seed.
I'm sorry.
NC State
2 1s, a 4, and an 11.
Ain't close
That's
to
right. That's right. Senior moment.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about NC State.
But man, what a hot basketball!
You go
thing.
5 games in a row in your conference tournament, and now you win 4 in a row, and it's 9 in a row at the end of the year.
Did they win 2 before the tournament? Did they win their last 2 games of the regular season?
Is that correct?
I don't know.
That'd be 11. I mean, it's unbelievable.
This team's all right, and you go back in the semifinal game against Virginia in the ACC tournament, they had to hit just a buzzer beater 3 to send it to overtime. If that didn't go in, they don't make the NCAA tournament. None of this happens.
That's correct.
That's basketball, man.
That's correct.
That is the crazy thing about basketball.
And then Alabama, of course, exits early in the SEC tournament.
Right.
And then they get hot in the NCAA tournament. Now, I'm going to say this. Would it be neat to see Alabama and North Carolina State as the lower seeds? Yeah, that would be pretty cool. If the basketball gods care at all,
it'll be Purdue.
We'll get Purdue and UConn because those 2 teams are juggernauts.
They've been the top 2 teams in the country.
Yeah, and so we'll see.
Right.
2 premier big men. We've talked about guard play ad nauseum here at the end of the season, and you have to have your guard play. But when you got a Zach Edey, and I can't even remember the name of the kid from UConn, he's about 7 foot. Those 2 guys going at it with their complementary pieces.
Right.
That would be.
Roger said they had lost several games going into the into the ACC tournament. So
we're still
I had not looked that up, but anyway, I knew they'd won 5 plus the ones they've won in the NCAA tournament. So dadgummit, man.
I mean, it's crazy.
You want to win 9 in a row? Now's the time to do it.
Down 7 yesterday in the first half and looked like it was about to get away from them. They're just so resilient, and the key. I'm telling you, I've said this during the tournament. The team that gets the ball to go in the basket.
Right.
I mean, obviously you got to score points to win, but these defenses, especially with Alabama, I'm gonna say this about Nate Oates. Nate Oates does as good a job as anybody in the country getting the right shots for the right players. And he doesn't do that by just letting them go out there and play. He runs sets that set things up.
Right.
And the key to stopping Alabama for UConn is going to be defending those shooters. But if you run them off the 3-point line, now they'll drive. So it's going to be an interesting Final Four.
Ed said he can't believe Luke's going out there being not without there being 4 blue bloods playing, since he says that's all the America ever wants to see. Just a little jab there. I'm sure Luke's watching.
You think Luke will cancel the trip because Ed said?
Yeah, he's like, man, I don't know, man. I think he'll probably keep him. John is using reverse psychology here, saying Purdue versus UConn. Book it, Dano.
Right. Oh yeah.
It's reverse psychology.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it is.
He reverse psychologied Alabama into the Final Four all during the year by saying he didn't think a single SEC team would make the Final Four. So he's
been admiring my lower jaw and calling me a horse already today. So hey, it's par for the course.
All right, we're gonna keep it rolling here. No pun intended, right? Stay tuned. More of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters. Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing is the #1 auto and boat detailing company in Central Alabama. Don't trust your boat or vehicle to just anybody. Hire the professionals. Top-of-the-line ceramic coating, detailing, gel coat restoration, and paint correction gives you the options to take care of your vehicle the right way. Located at 702 McCarty Road in Dayville, Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have you riding in style. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or Superior Automotive and Boat Detailing.
J.A. Smith Construction is your trusted choice for construction site clearing and grading for new home construction, underground utilities and site work, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Registration for the 41st Alabama State Games is now open at allagames.com. Join us as we return to Birmingham for an exciting 3 days of Olympic-styled action, June 7th through 9th. There are 24 sports offered and $40,000 in scholarships up for grabs. The Alabama State Games brings a mix of individual and team sports for all ages and abilities, so everyone can go for the gold. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Registration and event info can be found at allagames.com. Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here on this Monday. Get your calls in if you'd like. 256-234-6221 is our third segment, which means it's our Pepper Tree Steaks and Wines time to update you on what to get to eat tonight.
we
Specials is hamburger steak or lemon pepper chicken. As your Monday special with the choice of homemade mac and cheese, potato salad, baked beans, wild rice, roasted sweet potato, sauteed spinach, twice baked potato, sauteed asparagus, some steamed broccoli. List goes on and on. You get you a couple sides with that. Start serving after 2 o'clock. On East Glen down in Auburn or in Montgomery, make sure you go find Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Just an outstanding place to go shop. Here's some interesting facts about the 19 Auburn team versus this year's team. This year's team wins 27 games, wins the SEC tournament. Had a good year. Obviously, disappointing going out early in the NCAA tournament. But here are the leading three-point shooters. We thought when we did. I mean, our three-point shot, what were we, 9, 10 a game, it felt like, in 19? That was our magic number if you could get to 10. Samir Dowdy was the leading three-point shooter percentage-wise on that team with 42.5%. Bryce Brown at 41. Chimo Kiki at 38.7 and Jared Harper at 37. I thought Jared Harper's was higher than that. But, okay.
And he took a lot more, too.
All right, so look at that. So there's your top 4 there. Here's your top 4 for this year. Chad Baker-Mazar, 41.8. Denver Jones, 41.8. Trey Donaldson, 41.2. So already you got 3 combined total that really were better than what the 19 team had. Then you had Jalen Williams at 39.5, Janai Broome at 35.4. He was only a 1.5 percentage-wise off from Jared Harper. Now, he didn't take as many.
Near as many,
obviously.
Yeah.
Now, so you have to read into that.
Yeah.
But, David, I mean, you look at that. I mean, that's pretty crazy numbers. I would have lost. I'd have thought the discrepancy would have been way bigger in that 19 team shooting a 3 versus this 2014.
Me too. But I think the 19 team took a whole lot more threes than this team did. And I think with those misses, that's kind of what is skewing this toward us.
Right.
But weren't our records almost identical between 19 and this year? Wasn't it? Yeah.
And we were a 6 seed in 2019.
Oh, were we?
5th or 6th.
Okay.
Not a 4, so we were a higher seed this year. Just some other numbers. Auburn led the SEC in assist to turnover ratio. It was 3rd in the SEC in overall field goal percentage at 47.5%. It just at time, I guess, because of all the inside shots and being able to makes at the rim.
Yeah.
Because this team just never felt like a very good shooting team. But the numbers, again, kind of show different. And they were 4th in three-point shooting percentage at 35.2. So, really, numbers a little bit more shocking than I thought for this team. A little bit better than I thought. But, I mean, I guess if you win 27 games, you've done something.
Well,
right? And you were second in the SEC. You were only 1 game out of first. They were, what, a 5-way tie for second? 4-way tie for second. And then Tennessee was at the top. So
it was a crazy year as far as parity and all.
So Alabama gets in the Final Four, the first team for the SEC since Auburn in 19.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of a drought.
Hoping for Tennessee, but it didn't happen.
You think about Alabama's team last year. If you'd have put that team and this team in a hat, or you'd have put them side by side, and you'd have asked Alabama fans, or you'd ask any fan of basketball which team you think is going to make the Final Four, it would have been last year's team.
Yeah.
I would have picked last year's team.
I would think so, too.
You know, with Brandon Miller and some of those. But this team, you know, again, I think – I'm not saying it overachieved, but, you know, it was just one of those deals where comparable to last year, you would have thought last year's team would have been the one that made the Final Four, not this one.
One thing that I found of interest, Brett, about the article about Coach Oates calling some coaching, you know, Izzo. He called Izzo. There were a couple of other high-profile coaches that are friends of his that he called and about changing the mindset. Something had clicked between the SEC tournament and this NCAA tournament because right now Alabama's playing defense. They look like Auburn playing defense.
Well, they play in defense like they hadn't played all year.
Exactly, and that's the other thing about Auburn this year, Brett. I think this year Auburn's team defensively was better than the 19 team. I mean, we locked down on people this year, and they couldn't get a shot. Yeah. And that's the way Alabama's playing. Alabama's hit shots all year long. Sears has gotten to the rim all year long. The difference in this NCAA tournament run is that all of a sudden this Alabama team has said, you know what, if we don't start playing some defense, we're not going to be around.
Well, you look back the last week of the SEC schedule. Tennessee wins 81-74 over Alabama. Florida just annihilates them 105-87. Alabama squeaks out an overtime win against Arkansas at home, which was, a lot of people were like, man, this team's just not. And then they go to the first round or the first game they played in the SEC tournament. Florida puts 102 on them.
Yeah.
So it's 105 and 102 in back-to-back deals, and they go to the house and sit around and like, all right, we got to make some adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
And they turn around and they play Charleston 109-96.
Yeah.
Grand Canyon in a rock fight 72-61. And then they squeaked that one out against North Carolina 89-87. And then pretty good win against Clemson, the way they were able to finish that game off, because that game got tied a couple times. But, man, you talk about going from the last week of the regular season into the SEC tournament, worst stretch of basketball they played all year.
Yeah. And
NC State, same way.
Absolutely.
I mean, look at both of those teams. NC State, as like Roger said, had lost 7 in a row and had to win out in the ACC tournament.
Ready to fire the coach?
I mean, Alabama will just flip the switch, man.
Yeah.
Hey, kudos to them. So.
Yeah.
All right, up against another break. Stay tuned. More of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Zaxby's has been perfecting chicken fingers for 30 years. And now we're going to the sea. Shrimp butterflied and fried to perfection. And a perfect blend of Zax sauce and cocktail sauce called Zax Tail Sauce. The perfect southern fried shrimp meal. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's. Zaxby's has been perfecting chicken fingers for 30 years. And now we're going to the sea. Shrimp butterflied and fried to perfection. And a perfect blend of Zax sauce and cocktail sauce called Zax Tail Sauce. The perfect southern fried shrimp meal. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Bucks Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bucks Island has all kinds of boats, with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bucksisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is coming soon to the corner of 280 and 49 North in Dadeville. This new 10,000 square foot facility is conveniently located to serve the residents of the Lake Martin area and its many communities. A branch of Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory in Opelika, Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation looks forward to serving your families and your communities, as we have since 1900 at Frederick Dean. 256-750-0381.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Here, a couple segments left in today's show, brought to you by Russell Do It Center and Building Supply Stores with 9 locations here in Central Alabama for all your building supply needs, home decor. They'll take care of you. Make sure you go check out one of their great 9 locations. J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, big jobs, small jobs, in-between jobs, whatever it is. Big commercial jobs all the way down to residential. They'll take care of you. Make sure you call on J.A. Smith Construction so you can clean off your lot, and then you can go to Russell Do It Center and buy all your supplies, right? I mean, well, we're just helping everybody out right here,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's right.
And Central Alabama Community College with 4 great locations in Central Alabama for your 2-year degree, or if you want to transfer on to get a 4-year degree, they got the path for you. So it doesn't matter which one you choose. They'll take care of you. Going back to talk about that Tennessee game, though, for just a second before we talk about that NC State Duke game, these games from yesterday. Again, Tennessee just outside of Dalton Connect really kind of was their mojo all the second half of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, he did his part. He had 37 points, but nobody – you know, I was a little disappointed this year if you're looking back at Tennessee, at Ziegler and Vescovy and some of those guys that they had that you thought were going to be contributors. And I think they just started buying tickets like the rest of the fans to watch Dalton Connect shoot the basketball instead of really contributing. So,
yeah, because Vescovy was a lot better last year, Brett. A lot more effective.
Absolutely. I mean, he was like a non-factor.
He was a killer last year.
I know he was out the game before.
Right.
You know, with an illness. But we're looking at it from the whole season standpoint as comparable to last year. All right, so NC State and Duke, we didn't really talk about that game, but, man, NC State knocks off North Carolina in the ACC tournament, and they come back and get Duke. So they're the king of Carolina right now.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody was picking them. If you'd have had those 3 teams lined up, anybody picked that team.
Not even close.
So NC State scores 55 points in the second half.
Yeah.
They had 21 in the first half. So Duke led that game at half, 27-21. Big DJ Burns had 29 points. McCain for Duke had 32. Flipowski fouled out with 11 points. Just didn't really play well. But big DJ Burns, man, again, if they don't hit that shot in the semifinal against Virginia, nobody even knows who DJ Burns is right now.
Right.
I mean, seriously, as Roger said, they, lost those games coming down the stretch, getting ready to fire their coach. Now the daggum guy's going to get a raise.
Yeah.
He's about to pull Gus Malzahn 2.0,
contract.
right? Get a streak.
Check that bio.
Yeah, get a streak. go from being fired one day to getting a raise and getting an extension, and then go right back to being. I had somebody tell me yesterday, said they won't beat anybody next year.
That's right.
NC State will go right back to being
bottom of the ACC.
Bottom of the ACC once again. They got comments coming through. This is more of a. These comments are back and forth.
Hey, frisky today, aren't
between
they?
people on here, so that's fine. I'm not going to read through all that. But if y'all got a call, you'd like to jump on the show with us, 256-234-6221 to be part of the program. Let's flip over and talk a little bit about basketball. I mean, baseball, not basketball, but baseball. We started in the first segment. Hate it. This team, the bats are really good. If you look at Auburn scoring runs, I think they scored 24 runs this weekend, David.
Who's that?
Auburn.
Oh, I know.
They scored 24 runs.
We're blistering the baseball.
And got beat all 3 games, and our pitching is just horrendous right now. And, look, I think we had Butch on the week prior to the season starting on the show, and obviously talked about what the juggernaut was of the SEC and the way the schedule played out. But, you know, you look at it from a standpoint of pitching really wasn't – I didn't think it was going to be that big a concern. I thought everybody kind of felt like could be Auburn, one of Auburn's strong suits on this team, and it is far from it, man.
Well, here's the first of all was the Joseph Gonzalez question, you know, and he had that rough outing right out the gate, and then shut him down for a minute. He's back. He didn't pitch bad, you know, Saturday. Cam Tilley looks good, the freshman. But he's had some bumps in the road. It's just it's going to take Butch and his guys a little while, and we don't have very much time to find out who are those 3 bell cows and sort out the bullpen. Now, we're hitting the baseball, Brett. You just said it. I mean, we can hit. If you're hitting the baseball the way we're hitting it against the type of pitchers we're facing, that makes you even more frustrated for us because of the walks and the pitching discrepancy right now. Because if our pitchers are on point right now, we're sitting pretty because of the way we're hitting the baseball.
You know, but we're just not – I mean, again, the walks and, like you said, just not being able to – it's really, really disappointing because, I mean, again, Joseph Gonzalez was coming back this year. You felt good about the way our guys were pitching in the I'm going to say the pre-SEC season. You're not playing as good opponents, obviously, but you still got to go out and perform. And they were performing. You felt like, well, you know, going to be pretty solid. The bullpen's got a little depth in it, and that's what's got to turn around.
Yeah.
And it's got to start coming up this weekend with Tennessee. Got them coming in. Very winnable series. I mean, you look at the last 3 teams that you played in Vanderbilt and Arkansas and now Texas A&M, Tennessee's actually a break.
Yeah.
I know that's hard to say.
Yeah.
But it actually starts getting a little bit more manageable from that point. And, again, Auburn been very competitive in all these games. They haven't been blown out.
Hadn't been blown out,
David,
that's
I mean,
right.
they've had plenty of opportunities. They lost a 1-0 game against Arkansas. I think they lost a 5-4 game against Arkansas and won an 8-6 game. Look at the scores from this weekend with A&M. All 1 or 2 runs is the difference. And just got to figure out a way to start winning those close games rather than losing those close games.
Brett, compare these next 4 weeks, and I will count Tennessee as that first 4 because we talked about that. Our next 4 weeks are Kentucky at home, at Mississippi State, at LSU, and Ole Miss at home. I trade those for these first 4 weeks in a heartbeat.
Right, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. One final segment coming up on the Auburn Blitz right after this.
When drinking, take a sober ride home, not someone's life. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
J.A. Smith Construction is your trusted choice for construction site clearing and grading for new home construction, underground utilities and site work, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
SignSource is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Catch a ride, not a buzz.
Hey, can you come get me?
Being buzzed still counts. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz final segment, brought to you by Russell Do It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, Central Alabama Community College. A little breaking news there on the women's side of things. Mm-hmm. Tennessee fires their head coach.
Yeah. Buyout went from 100% of her annual contract to 50% of her annual contract today.
And they fired her.
And they fired her. Had to wait for that buyout to drop. And she had a pretty darn good 108.52 overall. I mean, Brett, that just goes to show, somebody that builds a legacy like Pat Summitt.
Yeah, man.
Same thing with Coach Bartow out at UCLA following John Wooden. I mean, you almost don't want that job. You want to be the next guy.
Right.
And she is Tennessee through and through, 3 national championships as a player.
Right.
It's just unfortunate.
Again, that's the way of the world, man.
Absolutely.
This is what we get now. Hey, to kind of go back and Alabama, I know Luke. I think Luke's on with me tomorrow night. I can't remember. I think he is. But anyway, I don't know when he's leaving to go to Arizona, but if he's here, he will be here. If not, we'll have somebody else with him tomorrow night. But anyway, to kind of sum up the state of Auburn and Alabama basketball in the last 5 to 6 years, 4 SEC titles apiece, tournaments and regular season. Mm-hmm. Yeah, here recently, Alabama's gone further. They've gotten to the Sweet 16 3 times. Now they make their first Final Four. Auburn made a Final Four in 2019. Mm-hmm. Auburn won 27 games this year, finished second. Alabama did, finished second as well in the SEC. I guess for lack of a better term, both fan bases want to get in a pissing match with each other about who's better. Look, Auburn and Alabama split this year. Auburn won at home. Alabama won at home. It was a close game in Tuscaloosa. It wasn't such a close game in Auburn. Both these programs aren't going anywhere, okay? Alabama, enjoy your trip. You'll have a chance at the best team in the country. You'll have definitely earned it if you beat them. Mm-hmm. That's the way it is. Auburn played Virginia. Had a lead with 17 seconds to go, lost it. Here's the deal. Both teams are at a place, I think, in programs that I haven't seen in my lifetime, David. Alabama under Wimp Sanderson was a little better than Auburn, obviously, and Auburn, when Bruce Pearl came in, was probably one of the dregs of the league, and he brought them up. And that's not it's not the case anymore. Auburn wins 23 to 27 games a year now on an annual basis. Yeah. Auburn's got a great recruiting class coming in. They're going to return most of their players. There's no reason for them not to be good next year. Same for Alabama. Mark Sears will be gone more than likely, but outside of that, they've got a good recruiting class coming in. They're going to replace. Some guys pan out, some don't. But the bottom line is Nate Oates is a good coach. Bruce Pearl's a good coach. There's not about a dime's difference in between the programs right now. I'd say they're probably about dead even when you look at it. So they've matched each other. They've made each other better. It's great for the state of Alabama. I don't like Alabama, and Luke doesn't like Auburn, and that's never going to change. I don't care if we go 0 for 800, okay? And the same for John Dent. He's not going to say War Eagle. I don't expect him to. You know, and look, it's just if you think you're arguing back and forth is going to get somebody to concede and say, oh, okay, I like them now. No, that ain't going to happen, man. It's a waste of breath. So I am good enough to say tip of the hat, good job. Yeah. I don't have it. I'm not such a-hole that I can't say that, right? Right. But I know there's some out there that can't. They can't return compliments when their rival does okay sometimes or does better. But I can say tip of the hat. And I sincerely mean it because you've earned it. Look, you beat North Carolina. And we can break down runs and all that kind of stuff. It don't matter. The draw of who you play is who you play, and you got to go win games. That's why I didn't get into some kind of argument about, Alabama played Charleston and Grand Canyon. Well, we played Yale, so we should have beat them. And Alabama beat North Carolina, and I know R.J. Davis went 4 for 800. Yeah. But he did. Yeah. And you know what? That's just the way it goes. And so you win the games that are in front of you, and you move on, and you don't make excuses. That's just part of it.
Well, Brett, I've followed basketball in this state intently my entire life. I will never forget the years of Sonny Wimp and Gene. UAB, Alabama, Auburn back in the day when Gene started UAB.
But it ain't to the level it is now.
No, it's not. But the intensity and the fire. You know, when Gene Bartow has Buck Johnson in his office ready to sign, and Buck's mama comes in there and gets him and says, "No, get in the car. We go." I mean, we go. That stuff's been going on forever between all the schools. But I'm proud this year that we had it. I don't know how many years we've done this, Brett. We had 4 in-state teams in the NCAA tournament.
I don't know that we can say that.
UAB, Sanford, and Alabama, Auburn. That's incredible. I don't know how many other states had 4 teams.
Right.
Well, North Carolina had 3, I know.
Well,
4.
4.
No, Charleston, South Carolina.
No, that's South Carolina. Hey, but anyway, going back to finishing what I was saying is that.
Oh, I thought you were done.
I'm not done yet. I'm not finished. I'm kind of finished, but I'm not.
You took a breath.
But again, you take advantage of your team's successes.
Enjoy it.
But Auburn's got to figure out, Bruce Pearl's got to figure out why you're going out early in March. Now, I remember it was just great to get to the NCAA tournament if you're an Auburn fan. Now they expect, and he said that in the postseason press conference the other day, Auburn's expectations are higher than should be. He said, why would they go backwards?
No.
Why would you, once you reach the pinnacle and once you become a constant at a level, why would you ever want to go? You don't go, you don't get up there and go, okay, I'm good going back to where we were. Before. You don't, because now you've proved, and it's just like in softball, Auburn should have high expectations because Clint Myers proved you can go to the College World Series and dang near win the thing. They were 1 game away. They split with Oklahoma in the first 2 games, and almost right there at the end on that 3rd game with a chance to win a College World Series, whereas 20 years ago, Auburn never sniffed it. But once you get there, expectations change because coaches have proven, hey, you can do that at this school. So Auburn and Alabama have proved now, both of them, in 5 years, that they make a Final Four in this new era of college basketball. Now, in the old era of college basketball, I still think both of us would be without a trip. I really do.
Oh, yeah.
I think that, especially now with NIL and transfer portal, you're not able to do what Nate Oates has been able to do, you know. And I don't think Auburn gets the caliber of player that they needed to get competing against a Kentucky or whatever to get them to come in. We wouldn't be having the recruiting classes we had. So.
And the other crazy thing, Brett, about this is since, I don't know how long before 2019, but since 2019 to now, 2 SEC teams have made the Final Four.
And this it ain't Kentucky. it ain't Tennessee.
Yeah, it's Auburn
and Alabama. So anyway, that's my closing remarks. Didn't know what they used to do on the Sunday Reporters on ESPN. That was my final deal. We'll be back with you tomorrow for another edition of the Auburn Blitz. We hope you join us. Stay tuned. We'll be back with you tomorrow. We've enjoyed it. We'll help you out. See you next time.